Dr. Michael Ryan with Missouri Vein Care talking about can children have a vein condition and what does it mean? Um, well, the short answer is children can have a vein condition. It's relatively uncommon. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's especially dangerous or worrisome, but is something that often does cause symptoms and can benefit from treatment. The way a vein condition works is that people have abnormal valves or little flapper valves inside the veins, and they begin to stop working. And some people, not everyone, but I would say a third of the population has this tendency. For some people, that can start early, and it can start in their teens. And what some young people will notice is that they have a prominent vein or a bulging vein on their leg, and they can also have some leg symptoms like aching and fatigue and cramps. So that can start quite early, and what all the studies of vein condition have shown is that every extra 10 years of life, as you march through life, the number of people that have a vein condition goes up and up and up. So by the time you're in your 80s, probably half the people have a vein condition. When you're in your teens, maybe 3 to 5% of people have a vein condition. So it's quite small at that age, but it's not zero. One thing to reinforce is that if a vein condition becomes evident, it's unlikely that it represents anything serious in terms of a medical threat or a risk of any catastrophic outcome. It simply means that is your warning that you're going to have a vein condition for the rest of your life, and it's going to be something you'll have to stay ahead of. I usually recommend to children that is under 18 that they get a vein treated if it becomes associated with symptoms, because that's what's required to get insurance approval, but also if it's visible and unsightly, because positive body self-image, especially as in the teenage years, is so important. It's important throughout your whole life, but it's probably most sensitive and most significant as a teen when you don't really have the ability to filter negative feedback and body shaming other people will naturally tend to do. So I recommend that to patients because it's good for your mental health, it's good for your physical health as well. I remember a story of a lady, a very sad story. She was 17 years old. I met her when she was 38, and she was married with 3 kids, a very trim, healthy lady, and she had the giant ropey vein running down her leg, and I asked her what did she really want to achieve with a vein treatment, because I said, you've had this vein for so long, why are you doing this now, and what do you want to be able to do? And she said, she paused and she said, well, I really want to be able to go on a float trip without having to wear blue jeans. So then I hadn't really thought about that, but here is a young woman wearing blue jeans on float trips because she's so ashamed and embarrassed about the appearance of her legs. And she told me the story that when she was 17, she was teased incessantly by other classmates. And finally, she came home. She was teased because she had a bulging visible vein on her leg. So she came home one day and got all her dresses and all her shorts, and she took them out to the backyard and put them in a pile and poured some gasoline on them and burned them all. And she hadn't worn shorts or dresses since then. That was 21 years without a short. I mean, I just went. So this is what the negative body self-image can do to someone. So what a terrible, unfortunate thing she went through. So I always recommend to patients and their parents that they go ahead and get a treatment if they have symptoms, which would allow insurance to provide coverage, and then we take care of the unsightly vein as well. So Dr. Mike Ryan talking about children and a vein condition.